Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for the invocation and the Philippine national anthem.
Lord God, you have called your servants to ventures of which we cannot see the ending, by paths as yet untrodden, through perils unknown. Give us faith to go out with good courage, not knowing where we go, but only that your hand is leading us and your love supporting us. Direct us in the path of your commands, for there we find delight. Turn our hearts toward your statutes and not toward selfish gain. Turn our eyes away from worthless things. Preserve our life according to your word. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Please remain standing for the Philippine national anthem. You may all be seated.
In a world driven by change, we seize the future by shaping thought leaders of the next generation. The First Pacific Leadership Academy. We are the country's premier corporate university. In this oasis of learning, we combine 10 hectares of lush landscapes with state-of-the-art facilities to cultivate the culture, craft, and art of leadership that has helped over 1,500 clients and organizations from all over the world. With the right mix of executive programs, leadership and management, human resource, and organizational development programs, and recreational activities, we create a dynamic training ground for future global leaders. Our legacy of continuous development, innovation, and entrepreneurship lives in the name of nation building. A brand of leadership that commits to helping the country as we create opportunities to change the world. The First Pacific Leadership Academy. Leading the nation, building the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome First Pacific Leadership Academy General Manager and Executive Director, Mr. Roy Agustin K. Evalle.
Thank you. Our very distinguished guests of honors, presidents of our various companies at the First Pacific Group, our beneficiary schools, Eulogio Rodriguez Institute for Science and Technology, Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila, University of Rizal System, Philippine High School for the Arts, Rizal National Science High School of Angono, Paref Rose Hill, St. Scholastica's College, Technical University of the Philippines, and Santa Isabel College. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Education, innovation, and leadership. Putting these elements together, the First Pacific Leadership Academy aspires that in this occasion entitled Crafting Chapters and Lessons in Thought Leadership, we expand the reach of our mission as we aim to be a center of excellence and a training ground for the leaders of today and tomorrow. It is our promise to bring you, more of you, opportunities of continuous learning as well as development. We could not think of any other way to express our support and our admiration to our Chairman Manuel V. Pangilinan, but to commit to our mission and stage the makings of a thought leader. In celebration of his many years of thought leadership, we at the First Pacific Leadership Academy invited similarly inspiring and seasoned thought leaders in business, science, and medicine, music, and the arts to showcase their brilliance in their respective field. We are proud to bring you our esteemed national treasures in music, Miss Cecile Licad and Miss Rachel Herodias, adding to our interesting mix of very young special guests, Dr. Daniel Luchanco, Ryan C., Dr. Reynabel Reyes, Pocholo Gonzalez, Maestro Olivier Ochanin, and 4 very young Italians and a Spaniard. We believe that through their work and their lives, we advocate the holistic formation of a leader. In this light, we would like each and every one of you to witness how the diversity of experiences, talents, skills, as well as personal giftedness moves toward a united end to leave us with footsteps to follow, especially our very young audiences at the lodge and balcony areas. To those of you who are joining us for the first time, especially to our beneficiaries, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the First Pacific Leadership Academy through this endeavor. We would like you to make the most out of this opportunity and this chance and participate in the exchange of ideas, may that be during the panel forum or in simple socialization during the intermission and after the performances. For our very dear executives in the First Pacific Group, we welcome you once again to our executive talks. This time we offer you more than a discussion, but a celebration. Together, let us celebrate and craft chapters and lessons in thought leadership. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Mr. Roy Agustin K. Evalia. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your hosts for this afternoon, Mr. Vince and Patricia Hezon.
Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you guys doing today?
Hello, everyone. So excited to be here. It's really wonderful for all of us to come together to celebrate cutting-edge thinking by crafting chapters and lessons in thought leadership.
Yes, as we all well know, effective leadership requires constant personal growth and exposure to new information and knowledge.
The First Pacific Leadership Academy has made it its mission to mold leaders in various fields of endeavor by putting together learning opportunities such as this one today.
It also just happens to be the birthday of FPLA's chairman, and this event, in a way, is his blowout to our youth audience.
Well, today we will get to introduce to you some personalities who have excelled in different fields, and I'm talking about various fields here like emergency medicine, astrophysics. We also have, I think, voice coaching, and even visual communications technology.
Not to mention performing artists. You guys are in for a treat. We'll try to find out what each of them do to stay on top of their fields and also what they all have in common with each other.
And of course, we'll be presenting performance later with some of the most insanely talented performers in the world. So I'm sure you all will be sticking around for the performance or concert segment later.
Absolutely. So without any further ado, let my wife and I introduce you to our very first guest.
Our first guest is a Philippine-born singer-songwriter from Los Angeles who originally started performing at local cafes in Edinburgh, Scotland, before moving to Atlanta for college. From Atlanta, he then decided to migrate to Los Angeles to pursue a career as a performer and songwriter.
His music is inspired by his life experiences, stories consisting of relationships, battling his own addictions, and the lessons he's learned along the way. His style is an appealing blend of folk, pop, soul, and country that overflows with emotional honesty and truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ryan C. Hi, Ryan. Welcome.
Great to be here.
Good to have you. All right, we're going to be introducing, apart from Ryan, so many other personalities, but we'll hear more from him in just a short while. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for our next personality, Rochelle Herodias is an artist in a stark contrast to Ryan here. She is a classical singer who sings oratorios, musicals, of course, art songs, and kundimans. She also has collaborated with some of today's most celebrated artists like Peter Schmidl of the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra and respected conductors like George Tintner, Piero Gamba, Oscar Yatko, Ryan Cayabyab, and many others. She has also assumed leading roles in more than 20 different productions in the US, Japan, and Asia Pacific.
Among Herodias' international performances that received high acclaim is her European debut at the Volksoper Wien in Vienna, Austria. Her performance with the Sarajevo Philharmonic Orchestra 2009 New Year concert, and the Pacific Music Festival in Japan. In October of 2010, she joined an international cast of Il Barbaribe de Sevilla. She performed the lead role in a production of the Barbaribe de Sevilla at the Daegu International Opera Festival 2010 in South Korea.
Herodias is currently a voice faculty for University of Santo Tomas Conservatory of Music, and she can be heard on several CD recordings made with renowned Filipino and international artists.
Among her many awards are the 2012 Total Tomasian Award, a prestigious winner of the 2010 TOYM, or 10 Outstanding Young Men Awards, ALU Awards Hall of Fame Best Female Classical Artist, Towns, or 10 Outstanding Women in the nation's service. These recognitions are a proof of her love for the opera and her dedication to her craft.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rochelle Herodias.
Welcome, Rochelle. And that's quite a list of accomplishments that you have there.
That's already edited. That's the edited version, ladies and gentlemen, already. But good to have you, Rochelle.
Thank you.
Looking wonderful as
Thank you.
ever.
I'm so glad to be here. Good afternoon, everybody.
We'll be hearing more from Rochelle in just a short while. Vince?
Okay, as you all know, today is really about saluting outstanding individuals in different fields of endeavors. In other words, there is very much a lot of truth to the old adage, excellence knows no boundaries.
And
No territories.
That's right. And our next guest also proves that, ladies and gentlemen. He also uses his voice, by the way, as a tool of his trade, but in a very different way, right, Vince?
Absolutely. He's known as the voice master. He is recognized in his circle as the most sought-after voice artist, motivational speaker, and events engineer. His work has been heard on radio and TV commercials, audio dramas, children's programs, computer games, dubbed foreign telenovelas, films and anime, and original animation, among others. At present, he conducts voice acting workshops and runs a sole proprietorship, full-service voiceover production company, Creative Voices Productions. He also works as a voice director for Hero TV and is executive producer of Voice of the Youth TV, the only TV program dedicated to Filipino voice talents. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome Mr. Pacholo Gonzalez.
Hello, Pacholo.
Hi.
have a feeling you're putting a mark on how we're delivering our script here.
How's our
Thank you
voices?
very much.
Thank you. We're going to be learning a lot from Pocholo here, but the next person that we're going to be calling is in a different form of arts. Of course, most of the personalities that you have on stage already are all in the music industry. This is a very different art form, the medical arts.
Yes, although it's called the medical arts, it really is a scientific practice that requires all your wits and a whole lot of heart. Dr. Daniel Luchanco completed his BS in psychology at the Ateneo before going on to medical school at UERM Memorial Medical Center. During medical training, he found that he had an affinity for activity in the emergency room. And after passing his medical boards in 2005, took his residency training in emergency medicine at the Makati Med Center, where he was absorbed and became part of the faculty of the emergency medicine training program after specialization.
He trained and became an instructor for the American Heart Association, teaching courses in basic, advanced, and pediatric life support, building on these two passions of emergency medicine and training. He then founded Early Intervention Management Incorporated in 2011. You know, this company actually offers management of medical staff and support for a wide range of medical-related services. It also specializes in training both healthcare professionals and laypersons, teaching anything from CPR and ambulance rescue to management of common emergencies at home. In 2012, to further his expertise in emergency medicine, he went on a rotation at the Mayo Clinic in Phoenix, Arizona, and took a training course in Trauma Level 1 at the Trauma Center at the University of Arizona. Now, in 2013, he took the helm of Singapore Diagnostics, a diagnostic laboratory established in the country by the Asia Med Lab, which is a group that runs large laboratories in Singapore and Malaysia. Currently, he is on the board of directors of the Philippine College of Emergency Medicine, and he plans to continue to do his part in advancing the fields of emergency medicine, pre-hospital healthcare response, and diagnostic testing in our country.
In other words, here is a man who must live a highly stressful, constantly exciting, but very fulfilling life, saving others' lives. Please welcome Dr. Daniel Luchanco.
I feel very safe with you around, Dr. Daniel.
Hi, it's really an honor to be here with this group of accomplished individuals.
How does it feel, though? You're in the medical arts and everyone else, they're world-class performers. We have a voice coach over here. Of course, we do want everyone to actually, what we would like for you to gain from this is really based on their experiences and based on their leadership experiences and the qualities that they carry. We'd like for all of you, particularly the students who are here today, to also draw from that, see from their experience, and also grow and learn and pick up from what they too have discovered in the years and years that they've been doing their wonderful craft, be it in the medical arts or in the performing arts. All right, Vince, shall we start with our short Q&A?
Yes, let's do that. I think let's start with Ryan, if you don't mind. Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about your field of practice and why exactly you chose what you did?
Okay, so I guess it looks like I perform a lot, but I've only really been performing for only the past 2 years. I actually started doing the whole music thing as a songwriter, and that's actually how I started off making music professionally. I've always had an affinity for writing songs, and I usually use it as like an outlet for, I guess, my own feelings or whatever it was that I was going through in like life or whatever. But the important thing about that is that I pretty much got really obsessed with just like finishing songs and tweaking them and retweaking them, and I just got like really, really, really into making songs all the time. So I'd be like writing 3-4 songs a week, something like that. And out of all those songs, some of them actually turned out pretty good, and you know, self-promotion here and there. I was able to make some good connections, and I ended up writing for a different TV series in LA and for different artists as well. And I guess for me at that age, I was about 22, 23, it was a huge success to be able to make any sort of money in another country, you know, doing something that you love doing, pretty much.
Thank you for sharing that. I just wanted to say, and I know a lot of you know that the MVP group of companies has an advocacy for music, which is the Philippine Popular Music Festival. And for sure, Ryan, we're going to be calling on your expertise also and your, of course, to help further Philippine music. But now that you're in the Philippines, you spoke about your experience writing songs, whether it's for television or for yourself, back in Los Angeles. How important is it to continue, even if you have rooted yourself here in the Philippines already? Do you still find that, I guess, motivation, and also do you still find yourself writing a lot of songs with the surroundings here and getting more inspiration?
To be honest with you, it's been a lot harder to write here. Kasi when I first moved back, I was really excited to write. Pero for me, there's a language barrier pa eh. Kasi like hindi ako ganong kabasadong magsalita ng Tagalog. So,
That's not bad.
hence, I can't write in Tagalog. But you know, wherever I can, I try to write because like that's always been sort of my forte. But over here naman, I'm focusing more on like, you know, getting my voice up to par with my songwriting.
Oh, okay, great.
But I guess when it comes to instrumentals, I still write for some shows and some other people as well.
Good to hear. Good to hear, Vince.
All right, let's move on to Rochelle Herodias. She's a world-class soprano. How did you choose your chosen field? And tell us how you got there.
Okay, first of all, you said explain something about my chosen field. It's the performing arts, specifically classical singing. So in classical singing, we're trained to sing in the style of opera, but not limited to it. So we also sing art songs from different parts of the world. And so for me, I also sing kundiman, and that's our form of art song. And well, it actually started as, for me, a desire to serve in our church through music. It was my parents who wanted me to dedicate my life to serving in the church. But then, so I enrolled in music school at the University of Santo Tomas to become a professional singer. At that time, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. But then I got exposed to classical music and opera, and I loved it. And from there, I just wanted to pursue the opera.
So from what your parents just encouraged you to do in church, the whole world now gets to hear your gift because of that small encouragement that your parents had.
Yes.
One thing that I have to share with the audience, I had the privilege of hearing Lupang Hinirang, our national anthem, sung by Rochelle here, as I moved closer to her, while all of you had the privilege of hearing it here at the beautiful Meralco Theater. But definitely, it's such a gift. Is it important for parents to encourage and recognize their children's gift early on?
Yes, of course. It's just that my parents are very, well, they're very dedicated to serving the church, so they really wanted me to serve in the church. At first, that was my challenge, because they wanted me really to take up theology.
That's a little different than what you chose.
What was that reaction? And, but then it was in high school. It was kind of late when I realized I really wanted to be a singer. That was when I discovered God has given me a special talent in singing. And so I thought, okay, I really want to take up music. And the challenge was to convince my parents. So I prayed. I'm very prayerful. And asked God, if this is really for me, then I won't have any problems with my parents. And then just one day, well, they already know that I want music, but I wasn't really asking them if I can take up music. But then they just told me, you know, we've been talking about this and praying, and we realized, you know, when you go to heaven, everybody's going to be singing. So that's even better, because you're going to be singing here in church, and up to heaven you'll be singing and using this talent. So that was my cue. Okay, music it is.